Okay, in our second example here, we're going to solve the triangle again, but we have a different setup of the given information. This is going to be angle, side, angle. So we know that angle A is 37, angle B is 63, and angle C is 9 inches this time. Same process. We draw a picture and label the parts. So here's my picture. And I try to draw it reasonably to scale so I can check my answers for reasonability as I go through. So to determine the type of triangle we have, well, let's highlight the parts that we know. We know angle A, we know angle B, and then we know the side in between those two angles. So this is an angle, side, angle situation, and I know that I can use the law of sines. Okay, let's get rid of some of that messy stuff for a second. Okay, now in this case, when we have angle, side, angle, we actually need to find the third angle first. And that's so that we'll know both parts that are across from each other so we can set up a whole ratio of known values. So the first thing we're going to do is find angle C. So we're going to add 37 and 63. That gives me 100. And then 180 minus 100 is 80. So I'm going to take that and label my triangle with 80 degrees. Okay? So now that I know that angle C is 80 degrees, I can set up my law of sines and solve for the missing parts that I need. I need to find both side A and side B. So I'm going to set up my law of sines. I kind of wrote it in a different order here, but that's because we're going to say, okay, these two ratios are equal. C over sine C is going to equal B over sine B. And these two ratios are equal. C over sine C is going to equal A over sine A because I know both values of this ratio. So I'm going to use that as my known ratio to set up my other equations. Okay, so let's go through it here. First of all, setting up both. We can say 9 over sine 80 is equal to A over sine 37 because we need side A. Or we could say 9 over sine 80 is equal to B over sine 63. B over sine B, because we need to know side B. To solve this equation over here, of course, we're going to multiply by the sine of 37 on both sides. So that'll divide to 1 over here, so those go away. And then we're going to do the same thing over here, except for this time we're going to multiply by sine 63 over sine 63 over 1 on both sides. And that is going to clear this guy. So simplifying both equations, we'll get A is equal to 9 times the sine of 37 divided by the sine of 80, and B is equal to 9 times the sine of 63 over the sine of 80. Getting your calculator out and simplifying, now that we know B is equal to 8.1 and A is equal to 5.5. We're done. We found angle C, we found side A, and we found side B. So now I want you to try practice problem number 2, and again, follow along with the notes as you do and complete the practice problem.